Hello, my name is Alexa and I'm a mountain school instructor here at the North Cascades Institute, and welcome to our third and final Mystery Skulls video. Like the last few, we'll be working together to collect some clues and solve the mystery as to which animal this mystery skull belongs to. Very exciting. If you haven't watched our very first introductory video, I suggest that you pause this one and watch that one really quick. It'll give you some good background info on different types of consumers and some key features on the skull that we will be looking at today. Like our other investigations, I'll begin by showing you our skull up close. You'll have a chance to make some observations before we dive into those together. So with that, I'll begin by showing you this skull, and please pause the video to write down those awesome observations. Just a quick note, this skull does have a little chipped front tooth here, so just a note. All right, make sure you've written down at least a few observations here. I'm going to start going through the different features on our skull, and I think I'm going to start with our lovely teeth here. So looking at this creature, what stands out to me first are these really sharp pointy teeth in the front. Reminds me of those meat-eating sharp teeth. But then we also have some flat teeth in the front, and also, I'm going to take this apart really quick. These back molars, when I feel them, they are bumpy, but as I'm thinking back to our last investigation, they aren't the sharp, pointy, like scissor back teeth, those carnassial molars. They don't feel like that. They're a little flatter, and they remind me of my own molars in the back of my own mouth that definitely have ridges, but are flatter and can grind up plants. It's maybe making me think this might be an omnivore. We'll see, we'll see. We'll move on to our sagittal crest. I'm going to begin by feeling kind of the top of the skull here. As I move back toward the back of the skull, I'm noticing this ridge that's present, a little baby shark fin. You can see it from the back there too. And that is totally a sagittal crest. It is present and reminds me that indicates this animal might have a really strong bite, as those jaw muscles are attaching all the way up on the top of the skull on that sagittal crest. So it's got a powerful jaw. It's a good clue. We'll keep it moving and we'll look at the eyes next. So as I kind of hold it straight up to the camera here, what do you think? This animal has eyes in the front and likes to hunt, or eyes on the side and likes to hide? Here. I'll try and stick my fingers through the eye sockets again to demonstrate this. All right, what do you think? I'd say this animal has eyes in the front and likes to hunt and is maybe a predator of sorts. Interesting. All right, we got some good clues working here. We are going to kind of zoom out for a second and just look at this skull more generally. Another thing that catches my eye is this giant nasal cavity here. Wow. That might mean it has a really good sense of smell. And when I hold it up next to my head, it's pretty large. So maybe a bigger animal to kind of get a sense of the size here. Awesome. All right, so next up, your task is going to be to pause this video and write your own claim, so your best guess as to what animal you think this skull belongs to. And your task is also to back up that claim with 3 pieces of evidence. If you have more, that's totally great, but you can be thinking about the features we just talked about, or potentially some awesome observations you made at the beginning of this video. Again, I will show our sentence frame that we've been using for the last few videos. Feel free to, when we pause this video, to copy down this sentence frame and use that as a place to start. And after you've had a chance to do that, then I will reveal the true identity of this creature. So we'll go ahead and give you some time for that. Feel free to pause the video and copy this down. It says, I think this skull belongs to blank because reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. Go ahead and write your claim. Awesome. Hopefully you had a chance to do that. I'm very excited to reveal this creature because it is one of my favorites. This skull belongs to our lovely black bear friend. Yay! Wow, yeah, this is a super important animal here in the North Cascades. They're really interesting because maybe they come off kind of scary and really large, which is true, to a lot of people, but most of their diet as an omnivore is actually plants. They eat a lot of berries and roots. They also eat a lot of insects. They don't want to eat you as a human. You're kind of too much work for them to be interested in, and they are usually more afraid of you than you are of them. Black bears are also interesting because they're not always black. You can see them as sort of a light brown or cinnamon color, and we actually have a cinnamon black bear that's been hanging around our Environmental Learning Center the past season or two, or past couple springs, and we are excited to hopefully welcome her back this spring. So we've been keeping our eyes out. Very exciting. I want to show you one other very important omnivore to the North Cascades. This one, it's a little heftier. This is our grizzly bear. Now, you might be thinking, Alexa, what? There are grizzly bears in the North Cascades? And to that, I would say, in the past, yes. The North Cascades are actually prime habitat for grizzly bears, and they're really important to this ecosystem, another keystone species that kind of gives us good info on how the rest of the ecosystem is doing. Sadly, though, grizzly bears have been pushed out of this region in part by humans, and biologists estimate that there are less than 10 in the North Cascades, in all of the North Cascades right now. So they are not doing well here at present. And though some exciting things have kind of been in the works in past years, there's been increased conversation about potentially reintroducing grizzlies into the North Cascades. Obviously, this is a really complex issue to be considering, and sadly, our last administration kind of put the pause on that potential program. But there are organizations who are still keeping up with that conversation and trying to maintain momentum on the potential reintroduction of these incredible creatures. One good resource to check out if you're curious, if you want to kind of stay up to date on this issue, be involved in that conversation, and maybe have some of your big questions answered. A good place to start is Conservation Northwest. They have a lot of really great resources. And yeah, it's a really complex issue, so it's totally normal to have a lot of questions pop up. And that being said, grizzlies are very important to the North Cascades, and we're here historically, so they're really important to kind of keep tabs on in this time. So, grizzly bears, black bears, very exciting. We are another omnivore here in the North Cascades as humans. Anywho, I hope you had a lot of fun here with us in these mystery skull videos. I hope you maybe learned something new and can share that with a friend or family member. And we hope to be able to see you soon for an in-person skull program. Until then, we'll see you later.